What is chromatography? Chromatography is an analytical technique of separating complex mixtures consisting of multiple components. And how does chromatography work? Let's take a look at a simple experiment: paper chromatography. Step 1. Prepare the paper and mark a dot on it in pen ink. Step 2. Place the paper into a jar filled with some solvent, water this time, and soak the edge of the paper. Step 3. When the water spreads up through the paper, the black ink is separated into each dye. Through this experiment, we can define the essential terms used in chromatography. What are mobile phase and stationary phase? Mobile phase is used to carry the mixture along with the stationary phase. Stationary phase remains static in one place where separation occurs. The stationary phase varies depending on the types of chromatography used. What's the difference among chromatography, chromatograph, and chromatogram? Chromatography is a technology for the separation of a mixture into its individual component between the mobile and stationary phases. Chromatograph is an analytical instrument analyzing organic compounds based on chromatography. Chromatogram is visual data of chromatograph shown in a graph of detector signal output versus elution time that can be interpreted for the analytes. What are the types of chromatography? Chromatography can be categorized into gas chromatography and liquid chromatography, depending on the phase type of mobile phase used. Gas chromatography. Gas is used as mobile phase. Compounds under 500 molecular weight can be analyzed by GC, and GC is suitable for analysis of thermally stable volatile compounds. On the other hand, LC uses liquid as mobile phase, and there are no limitations of molecular weight that LC can analyze. LC is suitable for analysis of non-volatile and soluble compounds. GC can be classified into two types again: GLC and GSC. GLC, gas-liquid chromatography, uses liquid films coated on the support or inner wall as the stationary phase to separate compounds by partition chromatography. GSC, which is gas-solid chromatography, uses solid porous particles as the stationary phase to separate compounds by absorption chromatography. Move to the liquid chromatography. LC can be categorized as LLC and LSC. LLC, which stands for liquid-liquid chromatography, uses partition chromatography method. LSC can be classified into three types: adsorption, ion exchange, and size exclusion chromatography. Let's move to partition chromatography. Partition chromatography is one of the separation techniques using the difference of partition coefficient between two liquid phases. Solute components dissolved in liquid phase, which is coated on solid support surface. Partition coefficient depends on the solubility difference, so the more soluble it is, the later it comes out. Adsorption chromatography. It is a separation technique based on the adsorption and desorption interaction between stationary phase and components. Ion exchange chromatography. It is a separation technique based on the interaction between a charged compound and an oppositely charged stationary phase. There are two types of ion chromatography: anion exchange and cation exchange. Size exclusion chromatography. It separates compounds on the basis of different component sizes. SEC is also called GPC, gel permeation chromatography. Larger molecules are eluted from the column earlier and smaller molecules later on. So, this is the brief classification of chromatography types, and you can see how chromatography is classified at a glance. Chromatography is widely used in industrial processes to purify chemicals, test trace quantities of substances, separate chiral compounds, and quality-control test products. Want to learn more about chromatography? Please stay tuned on Young & Chroma's channel.